Hi and welcome to a Kirby Maths video on substitution. So before we get into the substitution part of this, we just need to have a little recap on some algebra and what the notation means. So for example, if we have A plus B in algebra, that means we're going to have whatever value A does and add it to B, and that would give us our final answer. So we are adding the two values. When we write numbers next to each other in algebra, it means that we are timesing them together. So if we have 3a, that means 3 times whatever the value of a is. If we have a, b, c all written together, that means the value of a times the value of b times the value of c. If we had 4a plus 3, that would mean we do 4 times a first, then add 3 to that answer. And if we were squaring something, so if we had a squared, that would mean a times a. We are timesing it by itself. You just have to be a little bit careful if you have more than one lot of something squared. So if you had 3b squared, that would mean you needed to do b times b and then times it by 3. Okay, so substitution is exactly like when you have a football match and you bring one player off for another player to come on. So when we're going to substitute, we are going to substitute a number instead of a letter, and you will be given the values of the letters in the question. So let's have a look at this example where a is equal to 2, b is equal to 5 and c is equal to 1. We can work out the value of a number of terms. We could work out the value of 2a, and that would be 2 times 2 because a is 2, so that answer would be 4. If we had ab, that would mean a times b, 2 times 5, so the final answer would be 10. Now can you see when I'm doing this, I'm writing out my workings before I write out my final answer, and it's really important to do that because in any sort of these questions, substitution questions, you get 1 mark for showing the substitution before you work anything else out. Okay, so by showing that you know you have to substitute here the 2 for the A and the 5 for the B, you get a mark for that before you've done any calculation. If I had something like this, 3a squared plus 4, this is a really tricky one actually because I've got to do a whole load of things. I've got to do the a squared first of all, which is 2 times 2, which is 4. Then I've got to do 3 times 4, so that's 3 times the a squared, which is 12. And then finally I've got to do that 12, add the 4 on, so the whole final answer there is 16. Thanks for watching.